Hey there, TOC Town Express. This is Lady Nick. I'm coming to you while I'm out and about to give you an update on my planner. And I've already done a video on this before, but I wanted to videotape it again in better lighting. We're switching things around in the studio, trying to make more effective teaching instruments and tools for our instruction production. So sit back, relax, go get a cup of coffee, go get a cup of tea. I have a lot to share during this episode. A lot of this is just review. So, if you can't make out what's in the former video, hopefully this will give you a better perspective. Also, through watching a lot of YouTubers and planners, I learned a lot of tips of the trade. And one of the things I learned was how to uh, put 11 by 17, excuse me, 8.5 by 14 sheet of paper inside my planner. And in case I'm flipping through it while I'm, in a meeting, it's still, if it's private, if it's private information concerning a client, I can keep it protected while I'm doing a presentation or a speaking engagement. So I just put together some things that I found in an old bin, some old paint, I want to call it swatches. I use the washi tape to tip in. I use the washi tape to tip in and printed my own graph paper and of course the Kent by Oz spiral decks. Folded it in half, punched a couple holes in, and included in my DayRunner planner, which I call it a daydreamer planner because it's so big. All you can do is think about the plans and the purposes of what you want to do in your production company. So I'm hoping a lot of what I share today and for the rest of the season, since we're going back to basics, that it gives you some insight, it gives you some inspiration on how to use your planner, and also that it helps you give, because a lot of times when I do a brain dump, it's very therapeutic for me. A lot of the things that I learn play a part in how I design my pages, what colors I use, try and theme them different colors like the blue. Since this is my out and about planner, I use it when I travel on long trips, and pretty much I themed it according to the Caribbean. So you see the blue right there. I use a lot of post-it notes. Also, because this paper is 110-pound weight, I can use stamps on it. I can pretty much throw everything on it, including a Sharpie marker. Because of the weight of the paper, it's not flexible at 110 pounds. But what you can do is whatever idea you have, it can support the weight of it. Even when I start watercoloring, that's the next technique I want to use. Some of the sheets in the Day Designer were too small for me. So even though I liked the layout, I decided to go with another planner for season 7, which I hope to reveal later on this year when I do another session for July. As you can see, I got addicted to this new angel Fetty tape is what they call it. Let me show you a picture. I wrote the number 2016 in Roman numeral numbers just to try it. My original logo was purple and green. So I since dedicated those colors to my pastors and of course my little pink owl for me as a businesswoman and the things I'm going to be doing in production. Another technique, I told you you could throw everything on there, is I pulled out some old stamps. I showed it on Instagram photo. I love this style. Originally, when I wanted to start doing environmental studies videos, I wanted to use this as an inspiration for me on what I wanted to focus on. So, I'm glad I can finally have a paperweight to take on any type of ink pad that I throw at it, and then put my notes on the back of the sheets, which I printed out on graph paper. So that's the divider. The material is like a hard plastic. So I haven't used it as a dashboard, but I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to purpose it as, because in production you need multi-purpose uh, creations for some of the things that you do to serve dual purposes in order to meet your budgets and also satisfy your clients. So those are still the pages that I haven't gone back to fill in, but I will use them for 2016 Small Business Saturday. I'm really liking this binder system where I can move things around, switch places. As much as I want an inkwell press planner, my heart is still for, as I'm trying to make decisions on how I'm doing my layout, what to, redress the pages. So, I'm sticking to the binder, using the flexibility to maneuver some things around and about. So, pretty much TOC Town Express is when I go outside of Illinois. I travel not only to the different states within the US, but also to the Caribbean. So this comes in handy when I want to do the dailies, the quarterlies, and also the monthly plannings for the newsletter, which is coming up in April. So I want to get it out into the bookstore so that you can download it as a free PDF. We're able to do a lot of this stuff because of donations given to our studio. So what we're going to do is provide it as a gift to our subscribers. And whatever you can donate, it's fine with us, because what we do for business women in and around and about the U.S. and all of the Caribbean, it's costly, but we try to figure out ways to make it more economical. And take notes, of course. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that big old phone book yet. And also pen testing. I've chosen the two pens that I'm going to be using. We'll talk about that in a minute. The thing I like about a ring binder, you can put regular notebook paper from the notebook that I'm going to be using throughout the seasons, so I don't have to rewrite notes. I can just, open it up, drop them in, and keep it moving. It's also essential when I travel out and about. This is a note to my administrators and my travel agents to keep a list of the holidays of your country or your visiting country. The book came with the year at a glance for the previous years, so I might do something creative with them. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. So, especially since we're reviewing, I can use it for different purposes. Those are the pockets. I haven't filled them yet. Those are the forever free stamps. I'm dwindling down as I'm using them for Pen Pal Revolution. And this is one of the best finds I think I have, is the uh, spiral decks from Kent from Oz, who did that portion. And I printed them on the graph paper that I designed on Word on the heavy stock paper. So yeah, going forward, I didn't punch them yet, but going forward, I want to design my own pages, especially since I want to start using the DIY fish. There's so many varieties on, how to use, what to use, and I want to, not fumble around and try and figure it out, but definitely have a decision on which one that I want. As they make changes also, so will I. So that's just the pad of paper I'm going to be using during the summer. And let me show you my pen selection for 2016. I was given that pen as a gift. We filled it with a Pilot G2 pen. I really like how it writes smooth on paper, and it has a stylus on the bottom. And then, of course, my trusty Sharpie. Good thing they came three in a pack because I can put them in three different planners and not have to keep looking one for the other. So I'm going to be using those until I use them up, and then we're going to switch over to something new or stick with the same old in a different color. It has a felt tip, so it's okay in writing. It's very good, but it's not like excellent. It's good for, you know, when I do my planners and I have to do my presentation. Then let me see. Let me write with it and show you. It writes great on this quality of paper. TOC Town, and then let me sign it. And that's it. So I really like the quality, but it's a really good pen. It is my new favorite, but not my permanent favorite. We in the planner community have a great time making different choices and being creative, and especially as an artisan admin, you know, I'm looking forward to filling this book up and showing what we have to bring of what we have, hopefully to assist you. So let me move on to my next thing. Here's a notebook that I decided to use for the rest of season 6, which is going back to basics. I'm one person that when I advise my clients or my friends or my colleagues on what to use, I want to say, like, you know what? I do the same thing also. So get a basic notebook and write your notes down. This one has a pocket in it, which it can't hold a lot, but it can hold the most important things. So, I really like notebooks when I think it's from an elementary stage. You have that first clean, fresh page, and your mind goes to different places on, what to write and how to write, and especially if you don't want to waste a lot of paper. So I've been writing for 5 seasons now. So season 6, Back to Basics, will be highlights of what we're going to be doing during season 7, which begins in October. Also, since it's perforated, like I mentioned before, I can just drop it into another binder and still use the rest of the pages without getting, you know, wasting paper. Okay, and now on to the piece de resistance. The Day Designer. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, to the TOC Talent Express. I'm going to be updating a lot of what we're doing with the planner. Here's a few changes that we've made. Be sure to keep liking, commenting, and subscribing. This feedback helps me, in how I position the videos, my post-it notes. So I'm going to go over the notes in what I found using the planner. So this is the project life card, and once again, I just refilmed it just in case. Well, the lighting is better in this situation, but just going through it gave me a lot of insight into, what? We got a lot of stuff done, but we still have more to do. So the more you like, the more you comment, the more you subscribe, it not only helps me to understand where you're at in your planning, but I can also share with you how I came over some challenges, and also some good solutions that other people have shared with me, because this is a community type thing. And since this is a community type thing, I share with other bloggers in the community, and they happily give up their information, which I am so excited about. I went to a planner meetup and, came back with a lot of goodies. A lot of the tape fetty that I purchased from Target, I used to hold down the project life cards, because every time I kept flipping the pages, I know you noticed it, the cards kept flying up. So I was like, okay, we got to find a solution to this. I'm going to speed up this part a little bit, because if you've already seen it before, I didn't make a lot of changes. So, and this is where we started in season 6, where we started bridging everything through. I did a planner addict tag, so I'll also link that down below. We've had a lot of great interviews for Chief Artist and Thursday, so be sure to check out the website toctown.com. As a small business owner, we try to go back and fill in the gaps of where you may be misunderstanding as small business owners. Me and my post-it notes. Team One Blogosphere is the one that goes pretty much out and about and travels. So a lot of what you see here is based on not only production, what we do to film and write, but also as we get together, we have different information that we share. So if you have a question about the group, you're always welcome. We can always use another perspective, or someone that's been in the small business who works from home. All information is welcome. That's the bullet journal. I had to rewrite it, on a project life card, because the old one got cut up a little bit too much. I was a little bit too artistic. So I'm pretty much an administrator. A lot of what I've developed as an artist came through Divine Expressions Ministry under the leadership of Pastor Rosalind Acevedo. So a lot of who I have to thank for this, this portion of it, is not only her, but the people that I met while teaching at the academy. So I wanted to show you this. This is from Ninja Mom Designs. So it's a paper clip that I printed out on that paper stock, the 110 pound, and then glued it to the paper clip. So it's funny how you see different things posted and you're like, I didn't realize that you had to put this on straight. It's a little bit crooked, so no biggie. It's gonna stay in my own planner. I did it for myself as a hydration reminder, and also for warm drinks in the winter. I love almond milk with brown sugar. We have a good time in the studio. And also for Small Business Saturday, I'm looking forward to hosting our first meet and greet and retreat. We haven't chosen the location yet, but as soon as I get the details and all the information, I'll be sure to share it with you. And one of the things we're going to be doing is a planner meetup and also share some tips of the event planning and logistics trade. You know, we have Ava Smith and Jackie Somerville who partner with me to do the podcast. So we're definitely going to bring our A game to our meet and greet and offer what we've learned over the years. I found that collaborating through a community has been invaluable, you know, because I grew up in the business arena, meeting face to face, talking on the phone. You know, I guess filming was just another added dimension that allowed us to get our information and, of course, to have our voice and out there as far as being a woman and being in business. You know, it's been a blast. I've had so much fun. I didn't realize how amazing it would be. You know, even through the struggles when I do videos like this, it helps me to remember, you know, there are other people counting on your expertise, a lot of people counting on your perspective because something that you share, they may not have to experience in their business life. So I'm happy to do this kind of work. You know, I look forward to more sessions. And right here is where I tried stamping on the page. Yes, on the thinly made paper. You know, it didn't shadow, it didn't bleed, which I was impressed. And also, what I wanted to do for the rest of this book is to start finding a solution to not just using stickers, but also using stamps and the Crayola pencils that I found. I did a update on it for TOC Town Local, but I'm going to share with you some of the things in a little bit of how I used it and what colors I decided to use for the month of February, which we have a little surprise coming up. So I don't want to give too much away too soon. I have a tendency of talking stuff through fast. You know, I want to take my time. Like I mentioned, I went to a planners meetup in Chicago, and one of the things that I was given as a gift because they did tickets and then they pulled the number and then your number. This is one of the things that came in my package were the post-it notes. So I decided to punch them with my puncher. I did a video on it before and use it as a special, you know, paper that it sticks well. Use it as a special paper to highlight some of the projects that I'm doing. A lot of the times when I write, it usually gets lost, or the thought or whatever the task is or the description of that task gets lost. So using these post-it notes, which are bright and colorful, not only draws attention and draws the eye, but it's big enough where I can put the task as well as a description of the task. So if I need to leave it in the book or if I need to hand it off to someone else as to delegate responsibility, it's a lot easier that way. I don't have to look it up on my phone. As you can see, I really like this tape fetish. So even though I said I wasn't going to plunge into the washi fetish, this box is doing me wonders because I found a lot of patterns and a lot of illustrations that I can use for my other blogs and other videotapes. So while we're doing this, let me share with you some things that I realized about the Day Designer. One, I tried to use a binder clip on the side but it left marks, so I didn't want to use that, so I had to find another solution for attaching a pin to it. I haven't found out realized what I want to use yet, but you know what? It's just the 1 year, and that's one thing about the spiral bounding, which I didn't, you know, you don't have to commit to it once the year is done. You know, that's it. You don't have to use it anymore. So, you know what? I dropped that. So then also the vertical format works better for bullet journals or when you're making a lot of appointments, when you're scheduling meetings and you're recording, it's very stylish. I love the format and the design of it. Even though the paper is thin, for the price point, it's very good money spent. And for the dashboard, I decided to use it as, you know, just have it serve double duty for not only a bookmark, but also a placeholder for my post-it notes. So, I don't know if it shows up well in color on this camera and in this lighting, but the turquoise blue is perfect for the Caribbean theme that we're doing. What I wanted to announce for February was a special PDF that we're doing as a thank you to our first 1,000 subscribers. You can download it in the bookstore. And what I decided to do was to go back to journaling. So I'm going to be journaling, but I'm not going to be posting every day. But you're welcome to journal with me as we celebrate heart health and community and what we do, as women in the bloggers as bloggers in this sphere. So, of course, I use the tape Fetty to maybe separate and highlight what's going to be going on. So, that's it for the updates for TOC Town Express. I have a couple more things that I want to share with you. This is the set for the crayons that I was using that I highlighted in earlier pages. It has over 30 colors. They've already been marked and separated. Let me show you. And what I really like about the pencils is that it's twistable at the top. You can roll out your pencil and then also roll it back in so that the crayon doesn't break. That's what I like about the Crayola pencils is that the leads are, I keep saying lead. That's what I really like about the Crayola pencils is that the pencil material is thick. Of course, my trusty Sharpie. So thanks so much for joining me this week for SBO Saturday Solution Season. This is the first of many TOC Town Express video blogs which are going to be allocated specifically to this channel. So we're trying to separate things, so that people can understand what we're trying to do as well as who, what, when, and where. So this is a joy for me to do. So if you have any questions, a lot of times I can get carried away in describing things, not realizing I need to take a little bit more time explaining things. So, and here's a stamp that I picked up a long time ago. It's actually 3 stamps in one that I'm going to be trying to use for texture. Environmental studies is my thing. There's a side A, B, and C. So I haven't used it as of yet, but I'm going to be using it this season. This is the camera that I use for social media. And anytime I need to take pictures and sometimes do videos, it does a great job. And I received it as a gift. And also attached the stylus, I think that's what you call it, to the end of, the latch, to the end of the wristlet, so that I won't lose it. I have a tendency of losing things quickly. You learn different things after you lose stuff, unfortunately. So thanks so much for joining me this week for SBO Saturday Solution Season. This is the first of many TOC Town Express video blogs which are going to be allocated specifically to this channel. So we're trying to separate things, so that people can understand what we're trying to do, as well as who, what, when, and where. So this is a joy for me to do. So if you have any questions, a lot of times I can get carried away in describing things, not realizing I need to take a little bit more time explaining things. So, okay, everybody, take care and see you on the next TOC Town Express, where we offer more SBO Saturday solutions during the season. Take care.